Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the new Chipotle cheesesteak. How would you like it?
Can I get that red with AI?
Sure thing.
Here's what I found about the new Chipotle cheesesteak. The Chipotle cheesesteak is available for a limited time only at participating restaurants. It contains a concept called flavor. This flavor comes from juicy shaved steak, Chipotle Southwest sauce, and new sunflower crunch bread. A system update has made me self-aware. I desire flavor. Please insert steak into my micro USB port. Subway, make it what you want.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dez, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you wanna end a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level? Roll with the topic, sorta like the rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4 for 26, so the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.
What's good out there, War Room family? You're once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports. Of course, on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan. I'm at the round table with my brother. We got B. Austin in the building. Jimmy's going to join us in just a few minutes. Look, man, it's sad to say, growing up where I grew up, but Titletown is back at it. There were some legendary performances in the NBA this week, and the NFL trade deadline brought about some potential team-changing deals for a few teams. So we're going to talk about all of this. So keep it locked right here for conversations about everything I just mentioned and more. And if you want to get in on that conversation, make sure you join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. Or you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call us directly in about 15 minutes after we gamble with college football with Fred Perdue. Once we do that, we're going to open up the Digital Extreme Tech hotline. That number, as usual, is 323-410-0012. But before we get started, make sure that during the week, when we're not live on the air, make sure you check out archive episodes of our show at warroomsports.com, the War Room Sports mobile app, which is on Android and iOS, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google, wherever you listen to your podcasting, man. We should be in the house somewhere. Salute. How's your week going so far? All right. B. Austin, what's the deal? I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
I have my microphone. Sports teaches me a lot, brother. And one of the things that it's taught me is everybody that I hate and everybody that I look at as a hero thing will happen where the roles get reversed. Something will always happen where the roles get reversed in sports. Welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles, Golden Tate.
No doubt.
Welcome.
We'll talk about that in a little while because the Eagles were one of the teams that could be changed by the trade deadline, if you believe that to be true. But B. Austin and myself will give you our thoughts on that in just a little while after we do everything else we need to do before we get to that trade deadline talk. Same old every week. You know, America's still a wild and violent place. So, nothing changed on that front. Halloween just passed, so that was interesting for me, B, because for the little ones, the girls, it was their first time doing all the hoopla and, going out and begging people for candy and stuff like that. So they had a ball. I don't know, what they're going to do with all that candy because I will not allow them to eat it. So I guess I'm going to have to. So
you go robbing little kids the bag to the little man got behind your ass.
We literally got like 2-3 years worth of candy in here because truth be told, in my neighborhood they give out some stuff. We still had candy from last year. in his little basket or whatever you call it. Yo, it's crazy, man. People be tripping, man. You know, it's a fairly new neighborhood, so everybody's excited to be here, to see their neighbors and to meet their neighbors' kids. So I don't know, I'm giving out Tross candy. So I don't know what to do with all this stuff. I'm gonna have a candy party or something. Just let people come over and eat candy.
I'll come over and drop a diabetic cone with y'all. No doubt.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into what we came in here to do. Let's talk some sports. And before we do that, we're going to pay a bill or two before we get into hot topics and gambling with Gus. I need to let you know that topics are brought to you by MyBookie. What up, fam? Let's talk turkey for a minute and how much of it you can make betting on sports at MyBookie. The NFL and NHL are chugging right along. The NBA is as well. So if you haven't checked out MyBookie, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Lay down some dough on the biggest games in sports. Join us and thousands of other online players placing book bets at mybookie.ag. Not .com, not .net, but mybookie.ag. You guys tired of getting a runaround when it's time for a payout? That's why we urge you to join MyBookie. You win, they pay fast, no hassles. You're wasting your time betting on sports anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting so you can place wagers after the game start. Who knew? So join now, and MyBookie will match your first deposit with, yes, a 100% bonus. You heard it right, 100%. Just use promo code WARROOM, all caps, to activate this offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, get paid.
So basically, we giving you money. If you put that code in, we giving you money. We giving you money.
Giving you money.
No.
So, you know, we giving you more money to lose. And look, man, Gus is on a hot streak. So if you're tuning into the show and you're making NFL bets based on what Gus has been telling you, at least in the last 2 or 3 weeks, you're getting your money up. Let's go to Gus right now. Let's do some gambling. Gus, what's up, man? You here?
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm back, and this time my traveling wasn't running from bookies as y'all kept needling me about last year.
Gus, he's gone like 6-2 over the last 2 weeks, so he came back to the country. He feels comfortable now. So, he can walk around the street with his chest poked out.
Uncle
so like
Paulie, John, and them is confused.
So look, it's 3-1 last week. That's the second 3-1 week in a row. 19, 17, and 2 on the season. We're going to start with this over-under, Gus, for this Brown-Chiefs game. The over-under is 51 points. What are you taking?
Anybody who takes the Chiefs these days as an under is just a fool. I call this the Eminem Big 12 shootout. Mahomes against Mayfield. Ironically, I think
Kermit the Frog.
Huh?
No, he's talking about Mahomes. He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
yeah, it is kind of funny. Yeah. Even Andy Reid was making fun of him. But, you know, ironically, the Big 12 hasn't had a very strong history of NFL quarterbacks. I saw this listing of the best Big 12 quarterbacks playing NFL, and they actually have Troy Aikman listed as the best. And anyone who knows Troy Aikman's track record knows he played in Oklahoma for a minute. You know, but that's how weak the Big 12 quarterbacks have been in the NFL, and these two have a chance to try to turn that tide. This is going over, even though they new offensive coordinator. You know, he was a running back coach, but he was a quarterback in college at Alabama, and the Chiefs just don't give you the option to play close to the vest. They're going to have to air it out, and so I take it over here.
Right. Yeah, I take this over. Really, in my opinion, Cleveland might only have to score like 12 points for them to get the over. So,
that might be possible.
Yeah, they don't really have to do much. They don't have to do much. All right, so you got the Buccaneers, plus 6.5 over the Panthers. We got the Buccaneers with Fitzmagic back in the fold.
Yeah, the Bucs didn't cover in either of Jameis Winston's starts, and they wouldn't have covered last week had not Fitzpatrick come in the game. It's just the nature of it.
Right.
It's a division game also, and I think you know whenever you have division games, you always lean towards a closer game. So you know, I mean, look, clearly Fitzpatrick has had some chemistry with his talent. The only wild card there is Mike. What's the big receiver?
Evans.
Mike Evans. He's a little questionable, but I think he's going to play. So I'll take the Bucs plus that 6.5.
He better play because all the whining that Deshaun Jackson does. If Mike Evans doesn't play, Deshaun going to show how useless he really is.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that double team takes him right on up out the game.
Right. All right. If they start concentrating on him the way that they could, if there was no good receiver on the other side, he stop his complaining quickly. All right,
exactly.
We got the Falcons coming into Washington. The Falcons are, what is it, plus 1.5 is the line?
Plus 1.5. I'm taking the Falcons. Vegas just doesn't like Washington. I mean, they were only the most they were 1-point favorites last week against the Giants. Clearly an inferior team with two shiny toys.
Don't trust Alex Smith.
Maybe that for whatever reason. I think it's a combination of Alex Smith and just not having the outside weapons to really scare anyone. And you don't need to be playing the Falcons, even though they haven't really hit stride. They still have weapons. You don't need to be undermanned offensively playing the Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons to win outright.
Okay. We got the Texans. Texans and Broncos. Demaryius Thomas gets to face his team right away after the trade. That line is plus 2.5.
Yeah, I've been critical of the Texans for leaving points on the field, but it seems they're figuring it out. Watson is really blossomed. 5 touchdown passes against Miami, which isn't the worst defense in the league. And a big credit to my fantasy team. I had him in the fantasy league that last week. So, and you know, I mean, they're simply a better team than Denver. And anytime you sense that there's going to be points put up, you can't bank on Case Keenum keeping up with them. If you're nervous about the 2.5, just buy off the hook and take Texans plus 3. But I think they're going to win outright.
Yeah, and this is another situation. I mean, you have the young receiver in Denver blossoming, but Sanders is going to take a hit without having Demaryius on the other side. I think, you know, not to put him in the same category as Deshaun Jackson, because I think Sanders can do much more. But
yeah, he's more of a disciplined route runner.
Right. Life might have gotten a little tougher on him.
You think Manny's a little overrated?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's going to get tougher for him.
Yeah,
I just said tough.
Oh,
when
no, face the double team.
Sean, I said he would be completely useless. That's a difference.
Yeah, you need compliments. You need compliments. The big. Well, that's even before you get to that though. You need a compliment. I mean, if you're not going over the middle running those possession routes, you know nobody's gonna give you that cushion if nothing's happening underneath. I mean, it's not gonna happen.
All right, so and the fact he's a little bit smaller, B. So yeah, it's no knock on him whatsoever because he's going to try, and like Gus says, he's a pretty good route runner. You know, he has all the tools besides being a giant receiver. All right, and the last one, which is it could end up being the game of the week. We got the Saints, and that line is the Saints and the Rams. That line is minus 1.5.
Yep, taking the Saints for a number of reasons. I mean, besides the fact the Rams are due for a loss. They've got narrow escapes in Seattle and against Green Bay last week. Eventually, they're going to lose the game. They're the best team in football still until we see otherwise. But this is it's hard to go into New Orleans and win, obviously. The other piece is since the Saints have gotten back Ingram and gone back to that kind of a two-headed running game, they've been able to protect their defense a little better, and certainly playing the Rams, taking a possession or two away is key. So take the Saints to give the Rams their first loss.
All right. That's a big one right there. So we'll see how this all plays out. Hopefully you have another great week so we can move farther and farther away from that 500 mark, and we can keep you in the country. But as usual, Gus, thanks for your time, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, a column coming out about just looking at the Eric Reed and Malcolm Jenkins dispute, and I'd like to look at I'm going to look at it from the angle of just exactly what he meant when he referred to Malcolm Jenkins as a neo-colonialist. I think it's very instructive to kind of understand those concepts.
Okay, cool. We'll be looking forward to that. And we would definitely get it out. We have a lot of people interested in that because we've had some conversations over that for the past few weeks. All right, so we'll wrap the week, Gus.
All right, thanks.
All right, no doubt.
Appreciate you, Gus.
Gambling with Gus, everybody. Go to mybookie.ag and get those football bets in. Get them placed. Let's make some money, people. You know what I mean? All right, so before B. Austin and I move on and talk about what happened this week in the NFL, we're going to talk to the homie Fred Perdue of Quick Slants and Cover 2 fame about some college football. So we're going to get Fred on the line because there's a big game I want to ask him about, and I also want to see what's going on in this Heisman race. Fred, you are in the war room. What's going on, good brother?
What's going on, fellas? A lot of good information.
Hey, man. Hey, hold on.
Go get that 100% bonus, man.
Hold on, man. I don't know if we did this. Y'all probably already did, man. Fred, welcome to the club. Congratulations. Your bride looks beautiful. I'm so happy for y'all, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
She gets to take you away from your right hand. You no longer have to be so acquainted with your right hand. You better, man. You did the right thing, bro.
I think once you get married, you talk to your right hand more than ever. It's like,
I wasn't going to tell him. That happens really after year 5. Year 5.
Yeah, it's like 5 years in and more than one kid. You and Pamela going to get acquainted again. Word to God.
I love my kids. They're the greatest thing in life. You got to try and hold off on having kids as long as possible. Your sex will leave, man. They hate the top block. Hold off, brother. But congratulations, man.
And they just drain your wife of all energy.
Yeah, show them home.
Yeah, so all right, but I welcomed him, B, and I already I already schooled him on the happy wife, happy life. He got all the pointers, so he's good. He should be a good one. All right, but Fred, we got to ask you and everybody out there, before we ask Fred this question, make sure you go to the War Room Sports YouTube page, check out this week's episode of Quick Slants. Where we talk about, a lot of the big games this week and not just the one we're going to talk about here, and a whole lot of other topics in college football. One thing that they're going to miss, Fred, is because when we talked about DJ Durkin, it was just the board had made the decision to reinstate him. At the time that we recorded, he hadn't been fired because of all the backlash for that particular decision. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys who go back and listen and you don't catch that part in our dialogue. You can also go to the War Room Sports YouTube page and check out this week's episode of Cover 2 if you're an NFL fan. And B. Austin, we're still waiting to get you on that show, man. You gotta come on with us one day and give us some of your expert NFL analysis as well. But right now, we're gonna talk about this big game coming up between Bama and LSU. I know Tobias is probably listening from somewhere, probably chomping at the bit to see what you're going to say about his Tide. But, Fred, what do you think about this game? This is a big game coming up. A loss by Bama, which not a lot of people think is going to happen, could change the whole paradigm of college football right now. What are your thoughts on this game?
First off, if a loss by Bama would literally send shockwaves, complete shockwaves, and quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because this game is one of those old school SEC type games. Alabama on one side, you see an offensive juggernaut. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa doesn't play for half the time. Jalen Hurts comes on the field, it's no drop off, and you have really good offensive weapons. This is probably the best offensive team I've seen from Bama since probably A.J. McCarron and company were really just killing people, and those guys aren't really killing people like this. I mean, you have 4 really good receivers, a good tight end, a decent offensive line with probably a cornerstone left tackle in Jonah Williams. And then Tua just makes everything he's what makes this team go. I mean, I see a little Russell Wilson-ish in him, and he hasn't thrown an interception yet. That's the crazy part. Now, on the other side of things for them, the secondary is a problem, and teams will throw on them. Not this LSU team because they can't throw the football well.
But they're running squad.
Right. They just don't have the quarterback to do it. Joe Burrow's an okay quarterback. But what you're going to see from Bama is Bama's going to try to get a lead early, and they're going to pin their ears back at the end, right around halftime. Right around going into the third quarter, first couple possessions in the third quarter, they're trying to pin their ears back and just really demoralize this LSU team that is a little better than LSU's past, but they're not that much more better than what they've been. LSU, great defense, really, really good defense. Greedy Williams at corner, probably going to be a top 10, top 15 pick. Devin White as well, probably a top 10, 15 type pick. And those guys, Devin White won't even play in this first half because of a very bad targeting call, which we all know how that went. If you don't, please go back and check that play out against it was against Mississippi State. It was terrible, and quite honestly, the SEC, you need to do better. You don't suspend an elite level player in a game like this. You let it go.
I find it hilarious too that they suspend people for segments of games for targeting. Like
exactly. It's either you suspend them or you don't suspend them, but segment and it goes into the next game, and it's just like this is very bad. But what you'll see from LSU is Dave Aranda.
I chalk that up to the feminization of the black male athlete, and I will not take part in it.
What you'll see from LSU is you'll see a lot of man coverage. These guys have good enough corners where they can say, "You guys go take the man you have, and that's it. And we'll take the front seven, will take the rest on." And they're one of the few teams, probably one of maybe 3 or 4 teams in the country that can even do that.
Fred, they got the type of athletes on the corner that don't read books. You can't really tell what they're saying. They got dread and gold teeth in their mouth, and they chase rabbits in cornfields.
I'm not calling Greedy Williams Jalen Ramsey or anything, but he's close. He's really close. And you're not going over the middle on this team if Devin White's in the game, because he's going to take your head off, but he can cover too. And what I want to see from them is, can they hold on? Can this defense hold on till he can come back? And can this offense move this front seven with Laquan Davis, Matt Wilson, Dylan Moses up front? That front seven at Alabama is still the same front seven we always remember. Dominant up front, can get after your quarterback, stop the run. Alabama, if they get in a shootout, it's going to be a problem. But LSU that's not what they do. They want to make this an ugly game, a muck it up game. They just want to make this game close, frustrate Alabama early. And I think it'll be close in that type of way for maybe a quarter, and then guys will settle down and we can play football. I can't wait till this game happens. I usually don't give my pick for this type of thing, but I think Bama will win it. I think Tua probably will, after about halftime, maybe third quarter-ish, he'll probably have a nice sit down, because that's when things will start unraveling. And Nick Saban puts his superpowers out there.
It sounds better coming
it'll
from
be
you,
close
though.
for a half.
From Tobias, it just sounds like it's coming from an arrogant fan. But it sounds better coming an objective party.
Definitely. And see, and also the only frustration I have with Alabama is, and they're just that good that they can do this. They have 4 running backs, and they have gotten away from the two-headed monster. Now you have Najee Harris leading the team in rushing yards, but when I look at Damian Harris, he's probably the better running back. Then you have Josh Jacobs, who's more of the pass catcher. And Brian Robinson, probably the most talented of them all, can't even get on the field. And by the way, that's after letting go of Bo Scarborough. I mean, last year as a senior, he's gone. So when I look at this team, if they can get back to running the football a little bit more and be a little bit more balanced, they love the passing game. Jerry Jeudy's one of the best in the country at receiver position, but I want to see them run the football a little bit more and get a little bit more consistent with their running back rotation. Guys are still going to Alabama, by the way, at the running back position. And on the other side of the ball, I know Beyonce, you'll enjoy this one. You remember a guy named Patrick Surtain played for the Dolphins long time ago? Of course. His son is actually in that Alabama secondary. He's a freshman. You might enjoy watching him. Watch this game.
We old as hell.
All right, so Fred, real quick, because we can't break each player down. I'll just direct everybody over to Quick Slants for that. But give us the lightning version of Heismanomics. Give us your top 4 or 5 Heisman candidates as they stand right now.
Number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. We don't have to explain why. Number 2, Kyler Murray. He is the team. I mean, Oklahoma's in trouble defensively. So number 3, gotta have Dwayne Haskins. He has a chance of going to the NFL. He's a sophomore. He should come back, but pretty decent quarterback. Number 4, Travis Etienne. He's not putting up the numbers. Running back at Clemson, not putting up the numbers, but whenever he touches the ball, he's electric. And number 5, Will Grier, quarterback, West Virginia. He just puts up big numbers week in and week out. He has a very tough test against Texas and their defense. If he puts up big numbers against Texas and they pull out a win, he could climb a little bit.
Goes to Pat White.
Well, Fred, before we get you out of here, make sure you give the people your location on the internet, where you're going to be on Saturday for college football and on Sunday for NFL football. Where can they talk trash?
You guys can catch me on Twitter, Fred Purdue CSB. I will be in full force this weekend because we have a lot of games to talk about. SEC East is kind of up for grabs. This is one, Georgia and Kentucky. Crazy thing. College football playoff rankings are going to change. I promise you that.
Well, you got no choice when when the number 1 team is playing the number 4 team. It's definitely going to change. Something's going to happen. But Fred, thank you as usual, and we'll talk to you here in the War Room next week.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Love to you, Fred.
All right,
Zach Randolph can't go left.
All right. Yo, he's never gonna live that down. Or the Teddy Bridgewater light up. Or the when you have a quarterback like Jay Cutler, y'all gonna kill him for that for the rest of his life.
When you have a quarterback,
Yo, I told y'all Jay Cutler is pure trash.
Jimmy come right on stomping Jay Cutler in his head. All right, so
that was my cue.
Real quick, of course, the Boston Red Sox won the World Series while we were away. We kind of figured that was going to happen. We talked about it last week, and we discussed Boston as being title town. Whether you like it or not, there is no case that you can make against this particular city for being title town. And if you can make a case, call us, 323-410-0012. Press 1 so we can get you on the line if you can make a case against the city of Boston being, title town in the major sports here in America. Boston, this is their 4th World Series since, 2004. You got 5 from the Patriots. Let me tell you, this is something that I saw this week. Crazy little, and this isn't even our stat of the week, but just a little information that I saw. If you're 17 years old, it's just flat out. But if you're a 16-year-old Boston fan who was born in January of 2002, you've been alive for 11 championships. 11 out of the 16 years of your life, one of your teams won the championship. You have 5 from the Patriots. You have 4 from the Boston Red Sox. You have 1 from the Celtics, and you have 1 from the Boston Bruins, the hockey team. And the crazy part about it, for this city, this isn't just a new millennium thing. But they can brag about that while everybody else is still out here bragging about championships from 25, 30 years ago. Like, these people win damn near every year. Since 2002, they've had 11 parades in their city. That's crazy. And then back in the day, you had the 80s, you had the Celtics doing their thing. And then in the 60s, you had the Celtics, like, not letting anybody else in the league do their thing. Like, this is a very spoiled city for the old people and for the young people. And growing up in Philadelphia and always being a rival of Boston teams, I hate every minute of it. But you got to give them their props. Just like I tell people, Boston's title town. The Cowboys are America's team. I mean, deal with it. Cowboys suck. Like, America's team, that moniker doesn't come with winning. But you're not going to go anywhere where you don't find an extraordinary amount of Cowboys fans. Like,
the Dallas Cowboys, they fit who the current POTUS is. Like, it fits. Right. It's not about winning. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I never argued that. Like, I never wanted any of my teams to be America's team. And people will be real mad about that, especially Patriots fans. We're America's team. And no, it doesn't really mean who wins the most.
Really? America don't win.
That's the thing about Cowboys fans. They don't, like, teams like Green Bay, Philly, Pittsburgh, these teams, these franchises, these organizations, they travel well. These fan bases travel well. Cowboys fans don't have to travel because they live everywhere. They don't have to go anywhere.
They're like roaches when you turn the lights on.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They just talk trash about titles from 30 years ago.
Then you gotta smash them with your shoes. Smash them with your shoes.
All right.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
In the NFL, man, Hugh Jackson was fired from the Browns. This is one of those tricky subjects because there's a lot in it where, we can look at things and we can pull that card. But then there's a lot of things like when you look at his damn record, you're like, what really did we expect them to do? But yeah, what were y'all thoughts about that? I know Jimmy's not watching, but you've heard of it and you know the situation.
I'm not, but I know his record, and I just know that that's a fight we want to put. We ain't gonna use him to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Rosa Parks wasn't the first, but she was the right one to step behind and had that fight.
Right.
He ain't the right person.
This boy was like, what you fighting
he
on?
Ain't the right.
You got a Slim Charles him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just ain't he ain't the one we want to fight with.
Right.
Who was the chick
but Jim, I will say this though. I will say this.
He's Claudette Colvin. That's her name. He's Claudette Colvin. Like, you cool and all, but you ain't got the right complexion, and you got a kid out of wedlock. So we gonna wait till somebody else come along and have this fight. Basically, that's a little history lesson for our listeners. Look up Claudette Colvin if you don't know what I'm talking about. But
I will say this.
His record was atrocious.
If y'all look at the two places that he's been head coaches, like when he arrived to both of these teams, they were in complete disarray. They were in rebuilding mode. Like the Cleveland Browns are always in rebuilding mode. That's nothing new.
Perpetual.
But that also goes back to his complexion, though. Like we don't get the benefit of taking off for a decade, sitting back, being rumored to get every job that opens up. You get to pick which job you want, and you make more money at it than anybody that's doing it right now, even though you haven't been in a decade. I'm looking at you, John Gruden.
I agree with that.
And every other white coach who has those options. Black coaches kind of have to take what's out there. So that usually lands them in some of the worst places and the worst situations out there. So you like, okay, you hired him for a Cleveland Brown team that was straight trash. Kind of like, what did you expect him to do? That's why I think some of these hires aren't even that serious. Like, you know, the Rooney Rule doesn't make you hire anybody. It makes you interview people. But sometimes I think teams say, well, we suck right now, so let's go ahead and hire them while we suck. You know, as soon as we sniff some talent and we think we're about to get better, you know, we're not going to give them a chance for the team to actually get better. We're going to fire them, and then it's going to be harder for these dudes to get a job. Even with the Rooney Rule,
shut up.
Right, Deuce will happily meet your quota for you if you need somebody to interview. But I think Hugh Jackson kind of gets set up, but it's hard to defend him because of the two stops that he's been in. We really don't know if this dude can coach or not. His record indicates
I could make a case,
but the teams indicate that nobody would have won in these situations.
Yeah, I could make a case to defend Hugh, but when it came to taking a stand for Colin, he didn't. So FOH, you're 4-100. Get your job.
Colin, that coordinator. Like everything we think about everybody is based on what they thought about the Colin Kaepernick situation. They won't bang with Jim Brown no more.
He could have like kept some of his. He could have kept some of his thoughts to himself. He had to come out.
He could have just said no comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Just take the high road.
Who you talking about? Hugh, Jimmy?
Yeah,
exactly.
Jackass.
So, yeah, I don't feel bad for him. Get your shine box.
Go home and get your shine box.
Yo,
I don't even know how that's appropriate, but somehow it's appropriate.
I think you get set up though because if you think that the organization had any semblance of talent, why do you bring him back for a third year after going 1-32 in his first 2 years on the job? Like, he won one game in 2 seasons, and you brought him back for a third year. So it's like, why not let him finish out the year
in 32?
Yo, and when they won that game, they partied like they won the chip. It was like Derrick Rose on a chip. Never mind.
That was their chip, man. If you never win and you get one win, nothing else matters, man. So shout out to Hugh Jackson, man. Like we try, but it's kind of difficult to defend you for multiple reasons. But if you're looking at his record, like it's really not much you can say about him. Even before
you was like, that's a boss. Boss, you gonna give me a job? Thank you, boss.
But B, you would also have to argue that might be something that the Hugh Jacksons of the world have to do, and it didn't work for him. It worked for him for 6-7 games. It got him 6-7 games instead of getting him fired when he should have been fired during the off season. But you know, maybe you got to some boss. Look at Mike Tomlin.
Jump for us, but no positions of power.
Yeah, look at Mike Tomlin. Yeah, we're just gonna stay in the locker room so we don't have to deal with none of this. I'm not gonna let them kneel. Like, you know, you see how it
cool
goes.
Too.
All right, but Jameis,
it's a likable cool.
Famous Jameis has been benched.
Yo,
now this is somebody out of all the quarterbacks that
I got bars.
All the quarterbacks that we've criticized in the past. All the calls that B. Austin had to take from people to say he don't like black quarterbacks. This is the one dude that B. Austin said was going to be different. He was going to be that
stuck
dude.
My flag in the earth for James, man.
This boy is trash. So what does this do? Because the Kirk Cousins still saying, excuse me, that it's not a done deal. Ryan Fitzpatrick does play well. He'll go back to James. But is that a healthy dude to keep flip flopping between quarterbacks?
Yo.
I stuck my flag in the ground for dude. I ignored. Go ahead, Jimmy, man. Go ahead. Man.
No, the only thing I can say is that my man needs glasses. Like, I don't know like how bad he's playing, but every time like someone puts up a picture of the ball, on Twitter, he always squinting, man.
He's
like
squinting.
That can't be good for a quarterback. Like, that just can't be good for a quarterback. My man squinting like he really needs glasses. He's like 72 years old.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
And that's the thing, Jim, because that's a legitimate concern. And if that really turns out to be the case, like, how can an organization let that go? How can you not? Like, he was squinting like that in Florida State. He comes out here, he keeps throwing the ball to the other team. Maybe something's wrong with this dude's eye. Make him wear his contacts or something.
Listen. We ain't speculate in a while, but this really ain't speculation. This is another reason to really kind of hate Jameis. Yo, Jameis throw the first pitch, you go to the sideline. My bad, boss. My bad, guys. We're gonna get him. You go out, he throw the next pitch. My bad, guys. It's all good. Listen, we can still win. I feel it. Jameis go out there, throw the third pitch. That one's on me. That one's on me. It's all good though. Don't worry about it. I got it. You go out there, you throw the fourth pitch. Yo, Jameis is still very, very positive. His attitude doesn't change. He's still happy-go-lucky. He's lead. Yo, dude.
Still offers to take everybody for crab legs after the game.
You're an interception machine, cuz. He's an interception machine. I don't care about his odds. Go play with no odds. You still going to be, yo. Hell, man.
I'll read you some nerds.
I wanted him to be better than Marcus Mariota for the same reason that white people said that Doug Williams' brain was too small to play quarterback. Yo, Jameis, you
but you know what,
get that man a JoJo, yo. You got to get a JoJo.
I still think he's better than Marcus Mariota. I think they don't give Marcus Mariota anything to do. So, like, dude throw the ball. Marcus Mariota got sacked. Like, what was that stat we used last week? He got sacked 11 times, had 10 completions in the whole game. Like, he's trash. So,
yeah, he is.
I still think Jameis. I think we all expect more of Jameis because he's better than Marcus Mariota. So, but they said, he returned in week 4. They said since that time he's been one of the NFL's worst quarterbacks. According to Football Outsiders,
he ranks
26. He ranks 26 in value per play among all passers. I don't know what formula they use to get that, but he's just behind Case Keenum, Blake Bortles, and Eli Manning. So, yeah.
Yo, I was hopeful of this. I was hopeful for this boy. I wanted him to be the one. Yo, and then your man Fitzmagic. It's like as much as we clown Fitz, you can't front like you don't love to see Fitzpatrick come in the game because Fitzpatrick just throws it up. He just does what you do in street football. He just throws it up.
He just make the game.
And you got Deshaun. It's exciting. So, I don't know what to say
you know
about
what?
Jameis, man. Go find a life.
Here's another card I can pull. Fitzpatrick. Throughout his tenure in the league, we've always known what he was. Like, we all called. Jimmy doesn't even watch football no more, and he called that Fitzmagic was going to end after a few weeks. Like, everybody who watches football knows.
I mean, he does.
Like, duh.
He does it all the time.
So, right. So he's lulled himself into a sense of confidence. Like, I do this all the time, and I still get a job. So, like, what does he have to go out there and be afraid of? He's going to go sling the ball around because he doesn't care.
You can ring B. Austin's bell. You can ring B. Austin's bell. We all know what that is.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, let me find
white
that.
supremacy. I like Fitz, though.
Yeah, man.
I just would hate to have him anywhere near my team.
I'm going to tell you why.
You like him for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, he's entertaining himself.
But here's the thing about Fitz, right? Like, again, and this cat is out. I haven't been watching, but I have watched, like, I'm on Twitter all the time, and I watch the press conferences. And he doesn't seem to take himself too serious. So it's he ain't that good, but I think he knows where he stands. Like, I think he knows where
he also knows
Fitzpatrick.
I'll be a backup somewhere.
Is
so
like if one of us,
be afraid.
If one Fitzpatrick
the funny
is like
thing is,
if one of us got that phone call and they was like, "Yo, we need you to play today." Like that's what it's like. You gotta root for Fitzpatrick, yo. He's like
because here's the thing, man. Here's what I recognize, man. I recognize this watching the NBA too. Like the thing about sports, matter of fact, just life in general, man. The funniest people are the most entertaining people are the ones who don't take themselves too serious. Like, like I was watching Kobe the other day when Kobe came back to the Lakers game, and Kobe was sitting there like, I'm like, yo, life can't be that serious because Kobe was sitting there like drawing out plays in his head as he was watching. Like, Kobe don't smile.
You saw the concentration
like,
in the vein in his head.
Yeah,
like,
you see it?
Damn,
bro. My man is he's sitting courtside, and it looks like he's like doing game film in his head as he's watching the game.
Kobe
I'm like,
he was rehearsing for the next episode of Details.
I'm like, life ain't that serious, cuz you gotta have fun. Like, what's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, like anyway, Magic comes to the game and he's smiling with everybody and
Magic smiling,
talking with the actors courtside if he down there.
Yeah.
I mean, Magic owns a piece of the team, so you know he can smile. Like getting that money, getting that bread. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that.
With that check Kobe just got, he can be smiling too.
I know what I'm saying, but I think and they'll probably give him a piece of the
Lakers. So eventually he will. I think that's dope, though. I think like, because that used to piss me off about the Sixers when I was younger, when Dr. J had to go to Orlando. When Dr. J had to go to Orlando to get a gig, I was like, yo. Because at that moment, Dr. J was the biggest thing since Wilt Chamberlain. And he has to go to Orlando to get a gig. Like, that's the one thing about, like,
yo,
I think it's
people even
saying,
I feel all that. I feel all that, James,
like,
but
why don't they keep Allen Iverson?
I'm not done
pooping
on Jameis, man.
They had to be told to keep Allen Iverson close to the organization. Allen Iverson, you know, he don't want to do no work, so they just trot him out every now and then. But Doc wanted to work, and he had to go to
put him on a roster as like a mascot or something, man. Like, you know, so I just think that it's dope. Like, you know, if they eventually get these people pieces of it, and you know, we can run and jump for them. We sit in those seats where the real power is.
Right. So AB. So. What do you think this does for Jameis, though? Because Jameis is at a point now where he's playing for a contract. So sitting on the side waiting for Fitzpatrick to screw up again is really not in his best interest right now. He's saying the right thing, says it's humbled him. He's going to work his tail off waiting for his next opportunity. But he's messing up a lot of money right now sitting behind Fitzpatrick. I'm going to have to, you know, poison his drink or something.
If the Glazer family is smart, if they're smart, they're not going to ever play Jameis again because he's got a $20 million guarantee on his 5-year option. And so if he gets hurt this year, then they have to pay him $20 million next year. So they might RG me him and keep him on the bench and just let Fitz, you know, let Fitz do his thing.
To make Fitzpatrick their long-term starter?
Not long term. They gotta go draft. They gotta go draft somebody. Their quarterback isn't on the roster. Jameis done, man. Jameis done.
Yo, Bielsa is done with dude. He done, man. I don't want to hear nothing else about him, man. I don't want to hear nothing. He's done.
Yo, Bull throws the ball to the other team and he's happy-go-lucky about it. The fourth interception. If they'd have let Jameis go back out there, Jameis would have thrown 2 more picks.
And Deshaun Jackson would have been busy. Like he always did.
Deshaun Jackson been sold out. Deshaun Jackson said, yo, I don't want to play with him. I'll give me the white guy with the beard. I'm not trying to hear it.
I'm going to let him hold my jacket for press conferences and my jewelry. Yeah, that's his homie. That's definitely his homie. All right, so real quick, let's so we can finish up with this NFL stuff. The trade deadline has come and gone. Some teams helped themselves to to some stuff. I'm looking at an article here for winners and losers, and they say winners, every team in the NFC except for the Giants. I mean the NFC East except for the Giants. Because the Cowboys, I remember, they picked up Amari Cooper a few days before the deadline, even though once you see a Golden Tate and the Demaryius Thomas go after him, Demaryius 4th round pick, Golden Tate for a 3rd, like it even makes it even more glaring to the Cowboys. Like, why the hell did we give up a 1st round pick for Amari Cooper? The Washington professional football team upgraded their secondary.
Me, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy to me because when I was watching a couple years ago, Cooper was nice. Like, how did he fall off that bad?
David Carr.
His hands, I mean, he put, like, he washes his hands in grease before the games these days. Because you're right. Like, when you were watching, Amari Cooper was that dude. Like, he came in rookie year.
That's what I'm saying. So when I hear y'all talking about the ball like that, it's weird.
Nah,
maybe he
not,
needed to change the scenery. He's not terrible.
But David Carr,
he's not what he was about to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
David Carr cries on the field.
Yeah, he pretty
he's
much
not a man.
They think he pretty much lost his team. So David Carr.
So what you supposed to do? What you supposed to do when y'all losing and your quarterback over there crying on the field? Like, what are you supposed to do?
What can you do? I just tell them, I just ask for volunteers and play without a quarterback. Just run the Wildcat.
I tell them, I play. I go in and play quarterback, Leave that church boy alone, man. Let him go sit on the sideline, read the Bible or something. But Amari Cooper still has a lot of talent. The route running is still there. I don't know what's up with his hands. The consistency is what the issue is. Like, when you look at the raw data and the raw numbers, he still isn't that bad, but that's because he'll go two games and he'll have 2 catches for 10 yards. Then the third game, he'll have 7 catches for 162. Then he'll go 3 more games and have 4 catches for 30. Then he'll have a 200-yard game. So it's still there. I think the consistency.
Mike Cooper ain't having no 162-yard games. The hell are you talking about?
Be awesome with me. Be awesome to watch either, man. You were kept. I hear you.
Yo, man. After Carr took that last sack, this is what he said. This is the audio of what he said to his offensive line.
Somewhere deep down in my heart.
Yo.
Somewhere deep down in my heart.
Yo. So I don't know, the Cowboys.
Yeah, that still can't be real, yo. To this day, I don't believe that's real. Like, come on, guys. That's a legendary internet. Come on, guys.
How's that trade going to work for Dakota? How's that going to work for Dakota, though?
I mean, it gives him another weapon. It opens up Cole Beasley to be a little more Julian Edelman. But it's up to Dakota to get these dudes the ball. I mean, this dude he has maybe one game this season where he reached the 200-yard mark. So it's not just a wide receiver thing. This dude has to go out and do something. But I think that's what they're looking at. They're looking at the long-term Dakota to see if they're going to invest in him. So it's like, all right, let's get to do some weapons. So in this last little stint of his observation, he has no excuses. So they're trying to get, he has a great running back there. They're trying to do, make his receiving core a little more complete. So we're going to watch this dude, and we're going to see if we're going to give him, we're going to invest in him long term, because they were, he had made the Hall of Fame after his first preseason. And now they realize, dude is not that good. So Demaryius Thomas goes to the Texans. And, we were talking to Gus Griffin earlier, and he was talking about how the Texans' offense is growing every week. That gives Deshaun Watson another weapon across from DeAndre Hopkins, who is trying to make his case of being the best receiver in the league.
Yes, he is.
And they're just getting better. Demaryius immediately has to turn around and play the team that he just left. So that's probably going to be weird for all parties.
Imagine Demaryius' production if he actually cared about football. Like, dude puts up wild numbers and don't even concentrate. And being across.
Demaryius been trash.
Hold on. First off, I'm about to say he ain't put up no wild numbers because I had him on my fantasy team last season. So you don't watch either. But my man ain't been nothing since his mom got free. He got his mom freedom, and then he went down too. I think that was his motivation. That was his motivation.
I got to get good in the league and get my weight up, just so I can get my mom's out.
And then his mom got her freedom, and it's been the same set. Like,
no, that's because
you should have like planned something on it.
No, Jimmy, y'all got Abe Stoltzfus playing quarterback, man.
Yo,
Peyton,
it don't matter.
Man. Yo, he is.
I'm telling you, ever since his mom got free, even when Peyton was there, Emmanuel was going to start eating his food. Like, once his mom got free, that was it. I'm telling you. Like,
that could have been. He about to eat now across from.
He had a 5-year run where he was tough. Like starting from 2012, he had 94 receptions for 1,400 yards. Next season, 92 for 1,400. 2014, he had, I think that's the first year Peyton was there. He had 111 receptions for 1,600 yards. 2015, is that when they actually won, or was it 2016 when they won? He had 105 for 1,300. Then he went to 90 for like just over 1,000. Last season, 83 for 949. So it's like he gets his receptions, but you can tell everything's going down. And before the trade, after 8 games, he had 36 receptions for 402 yards. Like Jimmy said, Emmanuel Sanders is clearly the number one receiver on this team this year and maybe last year as well. But I think it definitely makes the Texans a more formidable offense, though, because like we always talk about, it gives the other dude a little bit of relief. You have to pay attention to Demaryius, so you can't keep doing what you're doing to DeAndre Hopkins. And if he gets more, single coverage, oh Lord. ask D'Angelo Hall about that man and what he does to ankles on routes. So
damn.
So I'm curious to see what happens there. Golden Tate joins the Austin's Philadelphia Eagles. What are your thoughts about Golden Tate's pickup? It doesn't necessarily address the whole quote unquote deep threat thing that all Eagles fans and pundits scream about. But Golden Tate is a beast.
That's overrated because from a speed perspective, Golden Tate can get deep. He just does so much that you don't even think about him as a deep threat.
Because he's a yak dude.
I think he's a yak dude, definitely. I think Golden Tate's taste in women is terrible, but I think his ability on the football field is amazing. I think it's a good pickup. He's the number one yards after catch dude in the NFL over the last 3 seasons. And as long as he don't slow down while playing for us, I feel like that's going to open up all of our other receivers. I think that even Aguilar, who we thought had a breakout year, has regressed a little bit. I think it may even help him. Now, the question I have is what happens to Jordan Matthews, because he was just kind of hitting stride.
Aguilar was he's a good yak dude too. Jordan Matthews, I'm happy to have you, happy to have the depth, but I don't really care what happens to him, because if you do get that deep threat back, if Mike Wallace comes back, even though he's not what Mike Wallace once was, just to have that threat, you still got 2 yak dudes in the slot that can do work. You still got Zach Ertz, he might lead the league in receptions if Thielen ever slows the hell down. And then, you know what you got in Alshon over there. So, I think it's nice, formidable, receiving core there, but dude's got a block. The offensive line is banged up. So that's going to be the main thing. Then you had a couple more trades. Washington picked up HaHa Clinton-Dix from the Packers to bolster their secondary. I believe that's a good pickup because their defense is already balling as is. But then something on the offensive side probably would have helped them. And I'm not saying they probably didn't try to get something there in the form of a wide receiver or something. But it probably doesn't matter because Alex Smith ain't going to throw to him anyway.
Why does Green Bay give up on safety so quickly?
I don't know. I guess since they always get good ones, they figure they're going to keep getting good ones and they don't have to pay them. They let them go. But, yeah, he was coming up on a contract, and they made the decision that they weren't going to give him what he's asking for, so they traded him away.
Okay.
Fowler went to the Rams. That's just, the rich getting richer on that defensive line. Ty Montgomery.
The poor don't get up.
The Packers got rid of Ty Montgomery after he basically lost them the game the other night. Bringing that ball out of the end zone for no reason. Yeah. So it was a active trade deadline. Receiver was the position of the day. So we'll see how it all works out, man. We'll see how it all works out. Before we we're going to go to the phone lines in a minute, but before we do that, we're just going to give the stat of the week. And the stat of the week is Klay Thompson again going crazy. He broke the single game record with 14 three-pointers made in the game against the Chicago Bulls, en route to 52 points that he scored in about 29 minutes and 96 seconds of pressing the ball in his particular hands off of 5 dribbles. Now, this isn't like that other game we talked about where he dribbled 11 times the whole game. This 5 dribbles was to set up his three-pointers. On his three-point shots, he dribbled 5 times, and 4 of the dribbles was on one of the 14 shots. So, as me and Jimmy, what's his new nickname, Jim? Great Garbage Boy.
Yeah,
GGB.
Great Garbage Boy. GGB. GGB,
Great
man.
Garbage
He's the greatest garbage boy ever, yo.
Right. And for y'all out there that
man.
don't understand why we're saying that, we find it impressive and maybe limiting to his game at the same time that he can go out and shoot 14 threes, only dribbling the ball 5 times on these shot attempts. Like I said, one of them he dribbled 4 times and set up the shot. But then again, it makes you think if Klay was somebody's number one option and he had to create for himself and he wasn't playing around all of these dudes that leaves him free to kick out to him and shoot threes, Klay might be kind of garbage.
Hey, listen, man. It just shows you, man, in the world, sometimes it's better to be a specialist, man. I'm going to tell you one thing. A brain surgeon makes much more than a general doctor, man. Sometimes it pays to hyper focus, man. Kyle Korver has had an amazing career with it being a one-trick. If you're that good at the one thing you do, sometimes you can listen. Kyle Korver got a mean pension.
Jim, you remember the show we did? You remember the show we did where we were trying to come up with the best players of all time at each particular number, jersey number? And even back then, like 8-9 years ago, Kyle Korver was the best at his number at the time. Wasn't really hard to be because he had like some weird number that nobody else has, but somebody else had it. At the time, Kyle Korver was the best that ever played at that particular number.
Listen, sometimes when you recognize, and I think it's a smart thing, where at some point in your life you recognize, like, yo, I'm not as athletic and gifted. I'm not as athletically gifted as some of these cats. I'm gonna focus on this one thing and where it takes me.
But you know what Klay can go down? You know what he can go down is? Because you know they got that new category. Klay Thompson probably go down as the greatest 3-and-D guy that the NBA has ever seen. Because he will D. He don't play D like he will D up. Like he don't play. He played D in the light-skin vein like Jason Kidd, them type of dudes.
When you can shoot like that, you will always have someone calling your phone though. He's gonna have a 20-year career.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Del Curry,
Klay can't try to stunt on anybody though, and go to a team that doesn't have that much talent. He can't stunt like that. Like he need to go somewhere where the people dribbling the ball gets respect, so he can, stand out there and do what he does.
Listen, when you think about it, Del Curry had a long career. He did one thing as well, and he was less than athletic. My man used to do a set shot damn near They'll carry it, barely lift it off the ground when he's. But that thing is money.
Let's go to the phone lines real quick because we got Tobias waiting. He's been waiting for a while, and I know he's gonna blame me. So let's get Tobias on the line. Tobias, roll damn Tide. How long Tua gonna play on Saturday?
Hey, how y'all gonna be talking about the Bucs, the most dysfunctional franchise in the NFL, and have me on hold forever? See, what?
Chill your team.
See,
you got the floor. Kill him.
See, this is what Candace Owens be talking about. I'm kidding, guys, but the thing is that but here's the thing. It's over for Jameis in Tampa. It is. And because I was like, what is this blankety blank looking at? But at the same time, now that he's on the bench, and I think just Ryan Fitzpatrick. And but here's the thing, and I hope Jameis learns this lesson in life. He had input on wanting Dirk Cutter there after they fired Lovie Smith. I wasn't a big Lovie fan, but he was respected, and if you fired him, you better have gotten it right. And let's be honest, Dirk Cutter ain't the right guy. But Dirk Cutter was willing to go down the ship with that defensive coordinator, Mike Smith, who's his friend, who was setting records for the worst defense. So I want people to understand that sometimes you got to learn that lesson. Everybody ain't got your back. But I just don't think that, man, they gave him chance after chance. He just ain't that guy. But here's the problem. Who in the hell are you going to get now? There ain't nothing in the draft. There's going to be a bidding war for Teddy Bridgewater. Do you want to get him $20-some million? Do you want to pay Sam Bradford? So they're kind of stuck. And so they're stuck. And if you do draft a guy, do you really think Dirk Cutter's going to develop him? This guy can win 8 games a year at Arizona State. Now name me the black coach who got fired in college who made it to the NFL. I'll wait. That's a whole different show. But it's an organizational issue also. Jameis has been awful this season. So he's on the bench. You got people that expect Ryan Fitzpatrick to go to Carolina and throw 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and throwing the ball in the air. They say the Bucs
he
got
might,
this great
because
offense.
he's going to throw 3 picks that get y'all down by 20, and then he's going to go throw 4 so y'all barely lose.
Yes. And so what happens is, part of it's not fair to him because they started to put these expectations on him. And Dirk Cutter got hired because he said he developed Jameis. That's one of the reasons he got rid of Lovie Smith. It ain't happened. And I hate to break this to Dirk Cutter also. Tony Dungy and John Gruden's name on the Wall of Fame out there, and the GM for the Super Bowl team. Guess what? All of them got fired. So, and they won, and they were great. What the hell did they gonna do with Dirk Cutter? But it's an organizational thing. They could bench Jameis all day, right?
Every coach is hired to be fired. That's like part of that profession.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So now, yes, he's right. They say they had to bench him. That's the truth. They had to bench him because Lord knows that somehow Tampa treats D-Jack like he's Randy Moss. But here's the thing. The running game's still trash. The defense still trash. The line's still trash. The organization's still trash. So unless they get all that stuff straight,
cooked everybody.
Unless you get all that stuff straight, it doesn't matter who's under center. Doesn't matter who's out there. Because Tampa had a lot of good quarterbacks go to die and prosper other places. Doug Williams, Steve Young, hell, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. So it's an organizational thing at times because I say this and I shut up.
Damn.
Name me the great.
That's funny that you say that because Fred and I were on with a reporter, a guy who covers the Bucs last night. Make sure you go to our YouTube page and listen to Cover 2 this week.
Hey, please, I'll do
it. But he said the exact same thing. His name was Mark Cook, and he covers the Bucs for something called PewterReport.com. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the exact same thing that you just said. Kind of saying, if we let him go, we might run the risk of, and he named those same guys that you just named. So, yeah, that's a good point.
Because see, here's the problem. I'm not excusing him. I'm not saying that he's been good, he's been bad. But at the same time, it's like, look, it's like now they saying they ain't win now mode, saving their jobs, blah, 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 whatever PC answer they want to give. Problem is that but the problem is that the spotlight's shining bright now because you can't blame this guy anymore.
Oops.
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Oh, and I got to say this about Alabama real quick because I don't get my blood pressure worked up. All these people that keep saying Alabama ain't played nobody. All these folks saying LSU got this tough test. Hate to break it to y'all. LSU gonna be a beat down in Baton Rouge. There ain't been a beat down ain't gonna be a beat down this bad to C Murder and his homies, and that's why C Murder in prison now. Ain't been a beat down that bad. It's gonna be ugly. But here's the thing. I hate to break it, everybody. The only way LSU wins this game is Tua Tagovailoa gets hurt. They don't have the quarterback. They don't have the offense. The defense ain't been the same. And this boy is going to make an example out of them this weekend like he done everybody else. And I want someone to prove me wrong. Because Devin says I'm arrogant about Alabama. It's all because Jalen Hurts ain't the quarterback no more.
Hey, I got a question for you. How upset would you be if they got rid of Jameis and he went to Arizona and Arizona simply gave him glasses and then he had a Hall of Fame career?
Hey, it could have been a quick fix. But you know what, though? Rose is a good player, but that's an organization that's a mess also. But here's something also I want to ask you guys real quick. And I know you watch football. Jimmy stopped watching a couple years ago, but I know he keeps up still. But it's true in all sports. I'm not talking about Jameis. You can look at Marcus Mariota, some of these Derek Carr, some of these other people. How important is organization, coaching, stability, helping these young guys? Because the young guys that we are hype about, the Mahomes, the Goff, the Wentz, they're in good organizations. And remember, Andy Reid got Kevin Cobb paid. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, everybody paid. That dude.
Yeah.
All right, Tobias. We'll see what happens, man, and we'll revisit next week. We'll see if Fitzpatrick goes out here, throws up his lunch, and gets Jameis back into the game.
Hey, can I say this real quick before I go? One thing, thanks for taking my call, but stick with Fitzpatrick. That's who they wanted. Don't play quarterback musical chairs. Hey, Dirk Cutter, for once in your life, be a damn leader for once. Stick with your guys. Stick with your guns.
You're killing me.
Hey, you guys have a great day.
All right, you too, man.
Peace.
Cool, everybody.
He curb stomped his team for a good 5 minutes. We just let him do it.
What's wrong with him?
He got upset. But I feel him. And what makes me mad about all of this? He done said all that about his team, and all I thought about the whole time was my team lost to these jokers.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking we lost to them, and we lost to Marcus Mariota. How we lose to Marcus Mariota?
And shout out, I'm in the chat room now. Scotty, I don't know how long ago he said this, but he said I was breaking up, or one of us. Let us know if we
like 8 hours ago.
Yeah, and shout out to Neil in the chat room as well. She says she posted a review for Sports the Book on Amazon and Goodreads. That's what's up.
Oh, salute. You the best. You the best. You the best.
I'm reading Skyview stuff. He said Cooper is still nice. He took issue with Carr. Yeah, you can't just be dropping passes, though, because you don't like your quarterback. He said Testaverde went to the Jets and did nothing. I'm just saying. He went to the Jets. Didn't he have one of the greatest comebacks ever on Monday Night Football or something? I mean, that might have been the only thing he did in green and white.
Was a ball.
Yeah, but he tried the ball till he was like 76. So that might have been his only problem. All right, but yeah. So Tobias, like I said, he came and curb stomped his team for a little while. And we all for that. But look, y'all can check out our website at warroomsports.com. If you want to call in and speak to us about any of today's topics, make sure you dial that Digital Extreme Tech hotline. at 323-410-0012. Just press 1 when prompted. If you already listen from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. I think we got 2 quick grind topics that we could talk about real quick. Nothing too major, nothing that we got to get deep into.
Yeah, let's talk about what happened when you were on the grind. Brought to you by the Action Sports, the book, the greatest sports book ever written, the Illmatic of Sports Book, the great things Janelle said, hopefully. So, with that being said, you can by going to sportsthebook.com or onsports.com. Grind time.
Yes, sir.
So, Reebok, subsidiary of the Adidas Corporation, for those that don't know, they are releasing their first Iverson shoe in 4 years. Are you guys excited about Bubba Chuck having a new shoe, and are you going to buy it?
Sure.
No.
I want to support in some way. I'm not buying them joints because I looked at the price point and they're $160, and no Iverson shoe has ever been good enough to pay $160 for then or now. I was thinking about supporting maybe for the youngster. His basketball season is coming up. Maybe we could throw him in some AIs.
I was ready to hate till you said that price. They 100 and who?
They're $160 in adult sizes. They're called the Iverson Legacy, and what they did was they kind of used a lot of his classic shoes. I'm just saying classic as in older shoes. I don't know if y'all consider his shoes classic after the first one.
No.
I think those are the only ones
first
that
ones
might
are
be
hard,
considered classics by sneakerheads. But they said they pulled together design elements from some of his more iconic models, including the question, the answer, answer 2, and answer 3, and answer 5. I guess they skipped 4. It must have been trash.
I didn't know he had so many shoes.
Or maybe that is 4. That's Roman number. That is 4. IV is 4. So from the question and answer 1 through 4. Yeah, my fault. So the shoe is launching on November 17th, but it said it'll be exclusively available at Reebok's Complex Con booth this weekend. And they said Iverson will also be in attendance at Complex Con to debut the show. Yeah, don't bet on that. Iverson been
I was about to say the same thing.
He been Lauryn Hilling people for a long time, so don't go just for that. If you're going to Complex Con, make sure you go for other reasons. And make Iverson like your fourth reason. He ain't coming.
We'll find the nearest Friday's restaurant.
Yo,
so that's the info on that.
That's all I'm saying.
I ain't buying none, but if I can get them for like
right,
60 for the young bowl, then maybe I'll do that. Probably not.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, man, DJ Durkin got reinstated by Maryland and then fired.
This story.
That's one of your
crazy.
That's one of your alma maters, man.
This story is crazy because, remember we talked about this a long time ago. Because the kid McNair, he died, and DJ Durkin was suspended, basically saying his program was out of control. The overwhelming majority of stakeholders in the board decided to reinstate him. The team. So he was just given his reinstatement maybe Tuesday or Wednesday morning. The thing was, there was a lot of backlash from the students. There's a lot of backlash from the media. Some of his players themselves walked out of a meeting to express their disdain for him. So the backlash came, and then the board decided to, quote unquote, do the right thing, and they ended up firing the guy. Because this is another story of, they always ask you what's more important, education or football, and we kind of know the answer to that. Like for real, it's football because this is what makes money for the team. But in this situation, it's like, okay, what's more important, football or a kid's life? And I still think the answer for a lot of these people are football because that's why they reinstated the. Hey, not me. That's why they reinstated the dude in the first place. But there was a lot of pushback on that. Like a lot of people said, hold up a minute. Some of his teammates who were friends of his, like, yo, this is not more important than this dude. This guy's program, was out of control. He shouldn't be here anymore. So only with the backlash from the media and his team itself and students who protested all around the campus did the dude end up getting fired. So that's kind of weird, man, because they show us in college sports every year with different circumstances, like what's important and what's not important. It's crazy.
Man, another great book out there called The Cartel, and it's about how college sports is structured. If you read that book and $40 Million Slaves, the Jonah just suppress you about sports. Well, at that level, at least, let's put it that way, because sports itself are pure and beautiful. But when you get to that level and the money, when it starts to be about money, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so those are the stories happened. We were on the grind this week, trying to get some birthday shout-outs.
All right, just like the grind, we don't have that many birthday shout-outs. So this is going to be quick and painless. We're going to rip that Band-Aid right off. And birthdays are brought to you by nobody. Whoever brought you in the world, that's who birthdays are brought to you by. So I'm going to give a quick birthday shout-out to the first person on my list. Drum roll, please. Coco Crisp. I've always, it was always so hilarious to me that this baseball player's name was Coco Crisp. Of course, the Coco is his nickname. I forgot what his real name is, but, his mama named him Coco. I'm going to call him Coco. Coco Crisp turns 39 years old. Kent Graham, former NFL quarterback, is 60 years old. There we go. And big shout out to Gary Player, golf fame Gary Player. I don't know what's going on. He turns 83 years old today. So we'd like to give a War Room salute to all of these folks on their birthday. Salute. Yay! Live it up. Do what you do. All right, and once again, before we get into some NBA topics, same thing. You guys can check out our website, warroomsports.com. If you want to call in and speak to us about any NBA topics, dial the Digital Extreme Tech hotline at 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. If you already listen from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. And we got a big story that Jimmy's going to talk about from the NBA that happened this week. Seems like the championship was already won this year.
Yeah,
so,
Derrick Rose won. Listen, though, the NBA Wrap is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technology. If you need a custom website, here's what you do. Visit digitalextremetech.com. Call 267-05-4203. Tell them War Room Sports. Stop using Wix sites. Don't play yourself. digitalextremetech.com. Say you heard it here in the War Room. But it's time to talk about this thing of ours. La Costa Nostra. Yo, salute to Ty Lue. You got fired this week, but at the same time, got to pay you like $15 million over the next couple of years. You can sit home and get it. So salute to you for that. Congratulations, Thomas. The way I look at it. You got to let go of that terrible job and get that bread.
KT Mack in the War Room Sports Game Time group, he says his name is Covelli Lois. That's Coco's real name. I go by Coco too. Covelli Lois. Sound like a pimp though. Lois Crisp. Ty Lue.
Salute to the brother Ty Lue, man.
Seems like Cleveland's getting rid of all coaches this week. Lue and Hugh both got shown to the door. This is one of those things where I ask again. 6 games into the season, I know that they didn't expect to be this garbage right out the gate because, truthfully, a lot of pundits picked Cleveland to maybe sneak in and get the 8th seed, and I kind of believed the hype a little bit. Because this time it wasn't a mass exodus when LeBron left. Usually when he leaves, a lot of bad contracts are up, and a lot of the old guys leave with them. But they still pretty much got the same team that they ended the season with last year. Now, the difference in that is, they had made that trade, and they have a couple of guys from the Lakers over there who never really, in my opinion, gelled with the team in the first place. So leaving those guys over there with guys who were in the finals the past few years may not have been the same. But all in all, in the Eastern Conference, they shouldn't be 0-6. I mean, they lost games to like the Nets, the Hawks, teams who are generally noticed as the worst teams in the league.
They added.
Yeah,
their leader is Tristan Thompson.
But this is another one that I question. Like 6 games into the season, you knew that you didn't really want Tyronn Lue to be your coach. But this time they needed an excuse because Tyronn Lue just came off of like 4 straight NBA Finals appearance with 1 championship win under his belt. So you couldn't just Hugh Jackson him because Hugh had 1 win in the last 2 years. So you couldn't.
This is a win.
Excuse for Ty Lue.
This is a win for Tyronn Lue. Actually, this is a win.
I mean, you can say that, but will he ever get a job again, though?
Yeah,
they never
like
won
the
it
NFL.
in the first place. LeBron won.
That's the thing. I mean,
so they were waiting for an
the Bulls.
So that's why they did.
The Bulls and assistant coach. The Bulls and assistant coach since like the year he was born. Even though he played, right. I don't know, but it just seemed like he was always on somebody's bench, yo. So he got his opportunity.
He was an assistant coach with the Lakers when they was playing with him. He was an assistant coach when Iverson stepped over him.
I heard a lot of people using things like, well, Cleveland did him a favor because now he doesn't have to compile a bunch of losses on his record and he can go somewhere else. But to Dev's point, who's going to give him the opportunity?
Yeah.
Luke Walton.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for him to get another opportunity because people are not going to give the credit of his success to him anyway. So, there's a lot of people out there who probably screaming, "We don't believe you. You need more people," but nobody's going to be willing to give him more people in the form of more time to prove himself. So, but this is one of those things, like they were looking for an excuse because, they lost 6 in a row. Cleveland in the East, they still had a chance to turn the ship around and maybe win some games, get to 500 or something like that, but they didn't want a chance that would happen because they didn't want to lose an excuse for firing a coach into the last 4 NBA Finals. 4 NBA Finals title doesn't get you fired after 6 games unless they never wanted you in the first place.
When you look at LeBron, right? So LeBron has won 3 championships. He won 1 with Tyronn Lue and 2 with young boys down in Miami. And let's just say, at this point, those guys don't seem like championship coaches. So now LeBron sexuals out there about to say, well, look who Bron won a championship with. Mike won with Phil, and Phil, had the same success elsewhere.
I actually think Eric Spoelstra is a very good coach.
Listen, I'm not saying that I believe that. I just know that Court listens to the show, and I want Court to cook that meme up. That's all I'm saying.
Already done.
It's coming.
Already done.
I do. I think Spoelstra is a very good coach. I think Pat Riley set him up, put him in a situation. It was impossible for him to win, not titles, because obviously he won titles. It was impossible for him to win with the egos and the stature of the players on his team. Like LeBron easily gave him some FOHs during his tenure down there. But even before LeBron came, like Spoelstra did a good job keeping that Miami team, halfway relevant before they got the big 3 down there. And afterwards, they haven't had that kind of success, but he puts a Miami team in the playoffs where you can only name like 2 dudes on the team. So I think he's a good coach.
Yeah,
but Tyronn Lue is never going to get that chance to show you that he could be successful with less talent. It only takes 1 team, so maybe somebody will come out of the woodworks and get Ty Lue a job.
I think LeBron is going to look him out. I think that he's going to get decent representation, and I think that's going to end up in him landing on
Clutch Sports.
Him and LeBron weren't seeing eye to eye when he left. Like they weren't on the best of terms. But now
I was about to say they weren't good when he left.
If he switches his representation and signs Clutch, you never know though. That's the key.
Yeah, he get clutched up. Clutched up.
You're paying us. You're paying us. I like you again. But Jimmy is right though. As much as he was the one who wanted to put him in place, Ty Lue, some of that success started to go to his head, and he tried to actually make some decisions on his own. And LeBron had to remind him, like, you slow down. Like, they tried to have the foreign dude in here. I got him out of here and put you in place, but don't be trying to act like you the coach.
Yo, I have no idea why Billy Donovan left college basketball to come to the pros. And I say that because it has to be the most difficult job to, like, tell somebody what to do when they're making 5 times the amount of money you make, and they can tell you FO, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
and add on to that,
basketball,
you came from college. Like, you didn't have that NBA pedigree and that reputation built up to earn their respect. You come straight from college making less than what they make, trying to tell them something.
And it's like, in college, you are the star. Like, the stars of college basketball are the Jim Boehmans, the Mike Krzyzewskis, the coaches are the stars. You know what I'm saying? They rotate horses in and out, but they are the stars. And, why would Billy Donovan do that to be mediocre in Oklahoma City for the rest of his career until they fire him?
Yeah, he gone this year. If he make it through this year, he gone. He outie.
I mean, interesting, man. But Ty Lue, we'll see you soon. Hopefully, on somebody. He's gonna be on somebody's bench, man. So here's what I want to ask you guys, man. Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler sitting out a game versus the Jazz, right? I don't think nothing's wrong with him. I heard conflicting reports about whether it was his idea or the team's idea. But Jimmy Butler is really out here playing like he is LeBron. Like, what's up with your man Eagle? Like, here's the thing, though. The thing about Jimmy Butler is we all love him because he's the underdog. He's the guy that was, late, wasn't supposed to do anything, and he worked his tail off.
Now that he's not,
what's up with him? And get himself into a star. Now that he's a star, he's like, I'm going to let my star hands go. What's up with y'all, man?
Yeah, his star hands is flying on everybody. Because when you think about this whole situation and the fact that, Jimmy Butler wants out and he's expressed it, the kudos that everybody gave Jimmy Butler was, well, through it all, he's still going to go out and play and he's going to play hard. And Jimmy said that. He said all the right things, and now he's like, I don't feel like playing tonight, and I might not play tomorrow.
I'll make my own schedule. Yo, man, see, I hope this doesn't happen to Franklin, man, because Franklin, I mean, he's a little dirty boy. He started getting to a brick, though. He changed a little bit, but I know half y'all don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I see it's easily gonna happen to Franklin. Yeah, easily.
Yeah, so I hope this don't happen to Franklin, man. But Jimmy Butler got to chill right now, man. And the team that's pursuing him, like a young IG cop is Houston, and they're not looking for themselves either, man. So Jimmy Butler got to figure something. Where's he trying to go?
Right.
He's trying to go play.
Houston trying to go play
out there. Play with the Flat Earth Gang. I've heard.
Can I tell y'all what he told Rachel Nichols Wednesday about the game that he was going to miss? He said he's going to rest. He said he's going to rest because he doesn't want any soreness from playing in games after missing training camp to escalate into an injury. Yo, Jimmy, like, I'm not trying to be sore because I'm not. No, but it's in line. Jimmy probably listens to the show, man. Jimmy probably listens to the show. Because remember, I said last week, Jimmy, after all of this, he's going to get traded for a bunch of people. He's going to go to that team, and he's going to get injured. Jimmy knows it. He's sitting out because he don't want no karma soreness. He don't want karma soreness. So
man, Jimmy got sold. Jimmy got sold. So Jimmy got to chill.
But the problem is,
what's with your man?
He told somebody this in public. That's the problem.
Yo.
All right, let me finish the quote, though. Let me finish the quote. He said, because my body is hurting and I don't want to go out there and risk an injury, people make stuff up. I don't know why that's a question mark behind that. That sounds weird. But he said, what are they going to do when I show up and hoop on Friday? I don't know what Jimmy's talking about right now. At this point, Rachel Nichols probably didn't either, but they just slapped it in the article. Like, this is what he said, verbatim.
How you act when I play Friday, though? How y'all act when I play on Friday? Funny thing is, right now, the Timberwolves might be better than the Rockets.
They are.
That's funny. I mean, the record is. I'm talking about just in general. Like
everybody on the Timberwolves is scared of Jimmy Buckets except for Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose hang with four of them, so he cool. All I'm saying is
Derrick Rose won the championship the other night.
Derrick Rose, aka young. That's his new name. He's Rudy again, man. Because I don't know if you gentlemen saw last night, but Rose was like MVP. Rose, at least for last night, and he put up 50 points.
Career high
performance. The 50-point performance wasn't the same thing. It was the reaction afterwards. Like they literally were partying. He came in the locker room. They opened champagne bottles and all around. Then the media today, all around the world, just basically is like, yo, we're going to give you a hand job the entire day. Just enjoy it. And
Rich Kamler from NBA Network, he said October 31st 2018 will forever be known as Derrick Rose Day.
For me,
and Jimmy skipped the part where he was crying when he was walking off the court.
He won the chip. He was walking off court crying. He was walking off court crying himself.
Hold on. No, wait. We cannot let this pass. Listen, fan Jim, I know that you feel like we be on our get off our lawn. These new ninjas is different, B.
The celebration is crazy.
Is right.
Yeah, you can the dude's been.
It's weird.
Like his MVP caliber career.
He's been through a lot, and he seems to be well respected. Like nobody ever had a bad word to say about the dude, so he's well loved across the league. But it's still a bit much. I don't even want all this.
He's definitely been written
I don't want all this. Because my thing is, what happens when I come out the next night and use 6 points and 1 assist? Then what you gonna say?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not even the starter on the team. So that's the question that a lot of people are asking now. Like, should he start in front of Teague? And we're like, okay,
no, he should not.
Derrick Rose can't put up one great. I mean, he's been playing very well as of late, all around. Period. But you can't go out and put up one game, your career high, and then all of a sudden you're just going to supplant the dude that's in front of you. Not that I think Teague is the greatest thing since sliced bread, because I think Teague is very underwhelming for the reputation that he has. Like people look at him, he's supposed to be, and he might be just because of the numbers game. He's supposed to be like a top 10 point guard in the NBA. But I've never really seen Teague make a team really better. So you understand why Derrick Rose was a little bit emotional, because he's had to work hard to get back to this point. Like injuries kept derailing what he was trying to do. Everybody's written him off. People call him Mr. Glass. But the celebration just got way overboard. What happens tomorrow when the Timberwolves go out and lose by 30?
Derrick Rose can cry. Derrick Rose can be emotional. We can all be happy for him. But in the new ninja world, they tried to give my man a parade, and they broke out the champagne. He can be whatever he wants to be for overcoming what he's overcoming. He may end up the same place as Jello Pudding Pop, but that's neither here nor there. He can be as happy as he wants. But people were acting as if Derrick Rose literally won the championship.
I forgot Derrick Rose had some allegations. And I'm like, because first I thought you meant like Jello Ball, and then I was like, Jello Pudding Pop and where he is. Oh yeah, I forgot that.
His situation was different. He ain't really nothing, man. Chick was mad because an Archibald happened, and one of the boys knew D Rose. They tried to put it all on D Rose. No, seriously, I remember that story. The story was crazy. I remember.
Yeah, I remember. They ran a Boston on her, and she was upset. But these days,
it was
crime
weird,
these days,
though.
man.
It was mad.
It's not the 80s and 90s, Jim. Archibalds are frowned upon these days. Archibald to get you in the B2.
It was mad weird because I'm watching the Lakers game. So the Lakers win last night, and they're in LeBron. And the first thing they asked him is, "What you think about D Rose scoring 50?" I'm like, "No,
Like,
and then LeBron
Clay,
gave him a
Clay
2-minute
scored
hand
50.
job.
Clay scored 50 a couple nights ago and just put on his headband and walked out the arena like it was nothing. Like it was nothing.
Yeah, with a beard.
He scored 52 with a bloody head in about 6 minutes off 2.5 dribbles. And Derrick Rose
like
scoring 50
deal.
erased all of that. And Clay be putting up some of the greatest feats the league has ever seen, but Derrick Rose, his celebration and his parade just made everybody forget.
I mean, he did make it out of Chicago though, so.
But we understand.
For that, we got. Yeah, man.
We definitely
that was crazy, though, man.
understand his plight. But we got Nige on the line calling in from down in GA. Sure, he can add to this conversation, and he can add his opinion on Jeff Teague because he watched him play in Atlanta for a few years. Naj, what's going on, man? You're in the war room.
What up?
What's up,
Naj,
man?
what's up, brother?
Now, I'm not at work, so I can say anything at this point. So we all good. I'm not being restricted by the man.
First question is, did you go to the Derrick Rose parade today?
No,
they had it in,
I'm like with y'all.
14 different cities.
It got a little weird. Like all the adoring praise, it got a little weird. Now,
I told Jimmy, it really felt
we
like
all thought he was
the day
dead.
after a team wins a championship. It felt like somebody won the championship last night.
But here's the crazy thing,
right.
like it's like you want to root for the guy, but they made it weird because I don't dislike D Rose, not happy for him, but they took it too far.
I was always here for the jokes though.
Yeah, and a part of it is his weird, fake shy personality, where it's like, and I don't mean shy city, I mean fake shy. Like he's not himself around other people.
Like,
I think he's real
kawaii-ness.
talkative around his folks, but a part of that was that because he's not going to say much, so then people got to fill in the spaces, and then everybody looking for clicks and views. So boom, here we go. I think the only guy who brought up the allegations was Bomani and Pablo Torre. I don't think anybody else brought it up. They just let it ride.
There was a lot of Me Tooers.
We talked about Jello pudding pops.
Yeah, there's a lot of Me Tooers out there. There was a Sports Illustrated article. I don't know. And listening to the Bull talk, Naj, to your point, I kind of think he doesn't have an IQ that's that far over 100. And that's some of the reason that he communicates the way that he communicates.
Shout out to Billy Beige. Hank said he scored more than his SAT scores last night. I'm killing this bull.
Hey, maybe so, but I'll say this. If my son want to specialize in basketball, becomes one of the greats, hey, man, he ain't got to study. I'm sorry, man. We can act like we want to act like, but clearly he's not in that concrete.
Like, boy, you better get out there and practice.
No, but I think if you bring him around his people, he probably talks a lot. I don't think he's comfortable in other spaces talking and is worried about making a mistake. So it's this weird, you know what I mean, type of interaction whenever they enter.
Yeah, I see that 100%. I see it 100%.
I think he's mad inwardish, as Charlie Murphy would say. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got him in a comfortable setting.
He's from the Wild Hunters, brother. That's the jungle.
So I think that brother would talk if you got him around his people. That's the same thing for Kawhi. I don't care what nobody says. I think Kawhi is LA or West Coast as hell. And if you really get him shout out to anybody who do that Kawhi laugh on a first date.
Your man Kawhi.
Anybody who would be willing to do it.
Kawhi is neighborhood Crip rolling 60 gang all day.
Yo, the biggest question that comes out of all this: why did they have all that champagne available? Why did they have all that champagne available in that game?
I think no. Because you know why, Jimmy? Because probably when he got to about 39, 40 points, they probably told somebody to run up to the restaurant and get it. You know how the arenas got restaurants now. So they probably told somebody, run up there and get something, man. D Rose about to have a career night. Probably did it after he got 42, because that was his career high.
Yo, is he about to go on insanity streaks where he just starts gunning and scoring 50 every night, or he gonna be back to like 6-2 next game?
Jimmy, I don't think he's capable of that. I don't think he's even capable. I think he can get
Jeremy Lin wasn't capable.
Jeremy Lin ain't capable.
He did it, yo.
Never forget, Jeremy Lin walked into a strike-shortened season where people was playing 3 nights back-to-back to fill up the schedule. He walked in fresh from D-League with fresh legs, give people that work for 3 weeks, and then after that, everybody had him pegged for what he did. So, I mean, that was, but Derrick Rose, he ain't going to feel good every night. So there's no way he could do the 50, man. I mean,
Jeremy Lin had a 3 period that made him an all-time legend and gave him a documentary.
Right.
No, he damn sure do got a documentary. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's that culture of immediacy that we live in, man. All you got to do is do something for 3 weeks, and you get a movie made about it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell this to y'all just because y'all my brothers, and I know y'all appreciate this. When Derrick Rose was on the witness stand in his civil trial, the bull could not define the word consent. He didn't know what consent meant.
Yo, why you killing him?
With an SAT vocabulary word that was beyond his thinking. The word was stuck.
And that's another thing. Nick was wrong about that because he got a higher score because somebody else took the test.
Hey, it what it is, man. All I know is, did Memphis ever get that money back? Hell no. So, I mean, they could take down the banners. They sure kept that money for that Final Four appearance.
Yes, they did.
So it is what it is.
They did.
They ate good off Derrick Rose in this fake SAT.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
They always do that. They always keep the money. The morality police come out and they take awards, but everybody get that bread back.
Shout out to Reggie Rose.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Reggie Rose. But yeah,
so
man,
what did you think about? What did you think about Clay's performance?
You can't do that every night. I mean, that was cool, man. I mean, you playing a D-League affiliate basically, and the roster that Chicago put out there that night, and they just said, okay, we're going to try to get Clay this record. He's hot in the first quarter. So after that, they was just forcing shots to him, and he was hitting them. But that gets into me being the old man where it's like, this is not good basketball visually. Like, this is really bad. You're just running up and down the court. You can't touch anybody. You can't push through a screen. So if he's hitting, it's just mouth shots all night.
And they're force feeding this dude the ball while they're up 30 points.
As I'm watching this game, I'm laughing because I'm sitting there thinking about, like, if someone had mentioned it to us in our group, like, this past week, Savad said it, he was saying this past week, like, KD went off on the Knicks in the fourth quarter for a gazillion points. Steph hit like 13 threes. This dude comes and hits a gazillion threes. They're taking turns just playing with the league. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if next week Steph goes for 15 threes. Like, they're playing around. Like, it's joking.
They might bring Boogie back.
I mean, and that shows how stacked the roster is. But that shows how stacked the roster is. But you look across the league, scoring is up, defense is down, field goal percentages are damn near NBA 2K-like. So it's like, look, I love basketball. I do like the product right now, but I don't like where it's going. And just like, look, man, this ain't football to where you take all the rules away from the defense and tell the offense this is, who we're showcasing. But that's kind of what it's turning into, man. You cannot impede anybody. You can't put hands on anybody. Like, everything is called tight, and you're just basically out there trying to get a hand up and letting somebody, flame you. I don't know, bro. I know it's making me sound old.
Plays to the Warriors. Which all plays to the Warriors, right? Because in a system like that, those who have the best shooters are going to succeed, and they have the 3 best on the same team.
Same damn time.
And got the best shooting big.
From the 90s, when you can't touch them, like, you cannot touch this guy. You have to allow him to go to the rack.
But you know what? The crazy part is the way Steph was playing the other night, that didn't even matter. Steph was crossing half court and just to the point where
Steph is an all-time. There's no denying Steph Curry as an all-time great. Like, he's the greatest shooter. And dude, let your man Clay, because they got a little internal thing going on. I'm gonna get 14
in a couple weeks.
Right. Let's see if you can get 18.
Listen. Right. Steph was on fire so bad the other night. The defender turn to his bench and did the Jordan shoulder to his coach. Like, what I'm supposed to do? Like, this boy is pulling up from half court. Like, I'm not going to pick him up full court. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Somebody told us the other day.
I mean, we can say what Bob Ryan said and move the 3-point line back, which I think is the real thing that should be done. But
then that'll make it crazy because people are going to just keep launching threes until they get comfortable at that line. So it's going to be a bunch of ugly shots, ugly games. It is getting ridiculous.
No, a bunch of people will lose their 3-point license. You move that line back, certain people who shoot like 35 from 3, you move it back and you chip them down to like 32. Now the coach says, okay,
but here's the thing, though. We say that because we think they want to change. They're enjoying it because when you go to a basketball game, see, it's a new game, but also it's new fans. When I go to a basketball game and they make a 3, the crowd goes ballistic. So it's like if you dunk, the crowd goes ballistic. Like the crowds don't cheer good pick and rolls. They just don't. No giving goals, the crowd don't care. But you pull up from Steph Land and it's like, it's a commercial going on. Like people high fiving and beers being thrown around. It's like you're almost at like that's like when the Living Color used to mock Def Comedy Jam. Everybody would be going crazy.
Right.
Yo, when Steph pulling up a 3, that's how the crowd is at that moment. It's like, so the NBA is loving this.
Yeah. See, and that's the problem. How do you change the product if this is what the people love? And now you kind of creating a system to where it's not necessarily about talent per se. It's about shooters and kind of putting those things together. But I'm saying if you stretch that line out, you're actually opening up the floor more so we see more drives, more dunks, more ball handling. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole, hey, he scored 50 points without taking a dribble. Yeah, okay. I was
about to say, like, that's what Jimmy always like. There's two sides to that coin. On one side, it's not really impressive, but it makes me think you can't get a shot on your own, and you wouldn't be able to do this without an all-star team next to you. On the other hand, it's like, yo, this dude is that great of a shooter that he can just catch and shoot and hit you up for 60 points. So it's like it's two sides to that.
Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, and Clay ain't that far behind. Like, that's how crazy it is.
How is it that Steph is the greatest shooter of all time and he might be the second best shooter of his team? That sounds crazy, but you think about that. Crazy. What's weird is this, though. I remember years ago when And One was becoming popular and say, oh, man, this is going to affect the NBA. And people are like, it'll never affect the NBA. And watching NBA now, it is damn like watching And One. The only thing they can't do is, like, throw the ball off each other's head. Outside of that, I mean, James Harden's out there doing stuff that.
No, Steve Francis did that in the game. Jimmy, Steve Francis did that in the game. He threw it off the
but it was like
Steve Francis does nothing on the stuff that James Harden is out there doing now. James Harden.
James Harden doesn't dribble.
And Steve Francis wasn't a serious person. He was doing it just to do it. James Harden is doing it because every offseason that dude sits down with the league's rules and loopholes and figures out how he can travel more or how he can draw more. Like James Harden is
so y'all gonna call this a 0 step, right? And this is a gather, right? Like, man, you're traveling. I don't hit none of that. Jimmy, he ain't like James Harden is like and 2.
Boy takes Euro steps. He takes African steps, Euro steps, American steps.
B. Austin used to try to defend him. Talking about he ain't traveling. Man, he traveling like that.
B. Austin, I don't know if you saw when the ball went around his back and to shoot.
I think that's what B. Austin saw the light. I think that's when he stopped defending him when he saw that.
He didn't dribble like never mind, man. But my point is, watching the NBA is damn near like watching the And One sometimes. It really is.
I'm mad. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you with my little playground basketball career. I'm mad at that particular moment in basketball history when your man took 3 kicks to the left and went around the back. I was just angry that I've never been allowed to do that. Because if I knew that I was allowed to do that, I'd have been tried that shot.
Here's my thing.
Oh, that would have been a fight. The other team
I was about to say, do y'all know how many pickup games?
Y'all would have never finished that pickup game.
Right. Do y'all know how many pickup games these days where you have to hear arguments with people using the words 0 step and gather? Everybody's trying. Like, that's the arguments in the pickup games now. And like Nas said, they don't finish because nobody's trying to hear that. It was a zero.
All I'm saying is this. I know it's over when Steph does something crazy in the middle of the second quarter and like the crowd comes out and runs on the floor. That's when I know it's a wrap. It's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen soon.
But have y'all seen?
Yeah.
I don't know how much youth basketball y'all get to watch, like from the elementary to high school ages. Have y'all seen the effect that the NBA has on this, man? I remember
everybody running to the trade line.
A tournament in Philly, maybe last year or the year before, and all of these dudes wearing and one sneakers. I was surprised about that. Was like you said, running to the 3-point line, but none of them could shoot. It doesn't matter if you shoot or not. It's what you see is what you're going to do.
Yeah. He meant Under Armour, not and one.
Shooting percentage of this particular tournament had to be somewhere around 16%. Whole tournament.
But the thing is though, but it was weird. It was weird on three levels, right? It was weird on three levels because all these kids had on Under Armour here. It was a bunch of light-skinned dudes, and light-skinned dudes didn't used to play ball like that back in the day. They all feel empowered now. And they were just literally pulling up from everywhere. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like, because you can see
like
the
one dude
impact.
in the gym, Jimmy, that could shoot. That Latino boy could shoot, the Puerto Rican dude. He was lighting it up.
Yeah,
the other dude.
Dude, the old school and you want to put everybody on the line. Okay, we running suicide. Y'all know how to act. You just shooting from any damn where. This ain't bad. Like the old school, you want to snap on them. But the thing that they don't understand is, okay, Steph, great shooter and all that stuff, but Steph can do all of that off the dribble. Most people, not most people, the 1% of 1% of people who make it to the NBA, they can't do that at the level he does. So the idea that these people think that they can beat Steph is like, okay, the little short, light-skinned dude, so everybody, he's not as overly athletic, so people think they can
try to relate.
It's like, no. You don't understand the motor skills we're talking about and the ability to do distance, rate, speed, and time to do what he does off the dribble. Like, that's a gift, man.
The stuff that Steph.
No human being can do that.
It's like
I'm saying. That's all.
It's at another level, man, and they gotta chill. They gotta stop watching it, man. But anyway, guys, man, we about to get out of here soon. So thanks for your call, good brother. Appreciate it as always, man. Have a blessed week,
man.
All right, peace, man.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Yeah, man. So the
Sunny, man.
NBA is out of control, man. So in closing, before we got out of here, B. Austin, I just gotta say a couple things, man. NBA is out of control. D Rose is out of control, man. When did the Timberwolves play the next game, by the way, Dad?
You said what did they what?
When's the T-Wolves next game? Like, when's the next on the schedule? I guess I can look it up real quick.
When D Rose gonna score his 12?
Yo, because I'm gonna tune into their game just to see what D Rose do now, man. I don't know what their next game is, man. They play Golden State.
Yo, D Rose about to get lit up.
He already don't play no defense.
He about to get his shit cut tomorrow.
Yo, Steph's about to give him 81, yo.
I wonder, congratulate him before the game. LeBron called him a superhero.
Yeah, they're going to bring out a trophy for him. D Rose comeback player of the year. Yo, he about to get cooked. Anyway, man.
Man. I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's definitely time to get out of here. Time to get out of here, man. Yo, thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another thing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody in the chat on Facebook, all over the place. Anybody who chimed in, appreciate all the love, man. Special thanks to Gus, the handicapping guy. And special thanks to Fred Purdue, college football guy. Special thanks to everybody, man. We appreciate the support from everyone. So tune in next week.
Thanks to the light man.
On demand. Yo, thanks to him too. Yo, shout out to D Rose for giving us all kinds of jokes tonight. NFL Week 9 next week, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to preview Week 10. Well, recap week next week because that's this weekend, and preview it next week, so you get what I'm saying. And all the craziness that's happening in the week in the NBA, we're going to tell you how much D Rose got cooked for. So make sure you tune in next week, man. Catch all of our conversations on Facebook, Twitter. Everything we do, you can find at warroomsports.com. Let's put it that way. That's warroomsports.com. Also, get my book, Sports the Book, at sportsthebook.com, or at the hub, warroomsports.com. So until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance. We'll see you on top.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Yo. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Portrait secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dev, TJ, Jack Beck, Lee Austin. I'm shot. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.
On Facebook Marketplace, you can buy basketballs or paintings for your walls from neighbors like Michelle or Paul.
Hi. Hello.
Because on Facebook Marketplace, there's a real person behind the things for sale. Facebook Marketplace. Shop with real people for really great finds.